Greetings, Sarah Ward Org. This is Ray Weisenbarger. I'm going to be doing your leaders meeting for this week. Super excited to be on this call and do this video for you guys. Special love to all the cats out in England doing their thing. It was really cool seeing your office about a month ago and being able to do another meeting for you guys. So I'm pretty excited about it. Excited about for everybody in the Wisen org or the Sarah Ward org. Sorry, I slipped and talked about my org already, but the Sarah Ward org, and I'm very excited to talk to you about your goals and how to have intensity towards your goals. So my topic is intensity for your goals. So here's the deal. I just wrote a book called Defiant by Definition, so I've been very obsessed with definitions of words, and I want to start this out by bringing up a definition of goals and why I'm going to kind of debunk this idea of goals. And I'm going to say some controversial stuff that you may or may not agree with. That's okay, but I'm just going to show you how I attacked my goals and why I'm running my own company and ultimately promoting deals and growing from there. So, and what got me to be Rising Star and all this crap that we do here with Sidcore. So, let me start off with the definition of goals, and let me give you a little bit of insight about that. So let me pull this up. Goals. A goal is an object of a person's ambition or effort, an aim or desired result. Now, we talk about goals a lot, a ton. We're talking about what's your goal, what do you want to do, what you want to accomplish, where do you want to be. We talk about goals a lot. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to say a very controversial statement. I could give a rat's ass about your goals. In fact, I could give a rat's ass about goals in general, because based on that definition, I don't get too excited about that concept, and I'm going to break it down for you. All right. The definition of goals, again, is the object of a person's ambition or effort, an aim or a desired result. None of those things, none of those conclusions with goals have a finale. Ambitions can change. I can have the ambition one day to be a firefighter and the next moment want to change to be a police officer. That changes too much. So I don't like the idea that an object is based on ambition. The other part of that definition is effort. I'm going to be real with you. Effort changes from time to time. There are days where I don't want to bring a lot of effort. Typically, those are Mondays or Tuesdays. Usually on Fridays, I don't want to bring too much effort. I want to be lazy. I'm naturally a human being. I tend to be lazy. So my effort goes from high to low all the time. So if I'm pursuing goals, a lot of times my goals are dictated on whether I'm either being high or low on my effort. The other part of the definition is called an aim. Well, guess what? Your aim could be completely on and it can be completely off. So unfortunately, when I'm describing goals and I'm referring to them as an aim for something, or the last part of the definition, which says desired result, there's really nothing too concrete about a desired result. I could have a desired result to end up somewhere and not end up there. Things could prevent me from doing these things. My desires could actually change. Ambition, effort, aim, and desire, all of those things are not fixed. They're not things that ultimately are going to help you hit that goal. They're things that you're interested in, but they tend to not be things you're committed to. A lot of people are not committed to ambition. A lot of people are not committed to effort. They're not committed to an aim. They're not committed to a desired result. A lot of people have the goal of losing 30 pounds. The problem, though, is they go one day. They're ambitious about day one. They put a lot of effort in day one. They're aiming for losing 30 pounds. Their desired result is to lose 30 pounds, but here's the problem. Day 2 happens, and then day 3 happens, and then day 4 happens. And when you realize the commitment that's going to require to get that desired result is a lot harder than we think it is, we tend to bail out on our goals. So as I'm talking about having intensity of our goals, I want to get rid of the word goals, and I want to replace it with one a little bit better. I want you to have intensity about your purpose. Ooh, purpose. A little bit deeper word, but I want you to understand this definition. Let me read it for you, and then I'm going to get at where I'm trying to get at today. Purpose is the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. The other definition of purpose is to have one's intention or objective. So let me go back to the first definition. The reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. The previous definition with goals are things that are kind of pie in the sky and are not fixed. Purpose is something that is done, that's created, that exists. And if you're going to hit your goals, you kind of got to get rid of goals and you got to fixate more on your purpose. So when I'm talking today in this leaders meeting, for us that are really trying to go for the goal of management or the goal of consultant, I want to replace that word with purpose. What is your purpose? Why are you doing what you do every single day? And I'll be real with you, when you understand that, you're going to understand why you do what you do every single day. Because a lot of people will tell you, oh, I hit this because I had big goals. Well, no, they didn't have big goals. They had big purpose. They had a purpose for what they were doing. That's where the goals came. And that's where we kind of missed this whole concept. A goal is simply the byproduct of your purpose. If your purpose is to be a fucking rock star in life, your goals will reflect that purpose. And you hitting those goals, having the intensity to hit that, will be determined on the size of your purpose. If your purpose is that big and your goals are that big, it's not going to happen. The reason why is because your purpose is very small and your goals are very large. The reality, though, is for you to hit any goal, you're going to have to match them equally or have more purpose than the goal that's set up in front of you. Because remember, a goal is kind of a great idea. A purpose is something that exists, that's created. This is something that's desired. So the rest of my time, when I'm talking about having intensity for your goals, I'm replacing it with purpose. Because I had to do this in my own life and stop worrying so much about goals and worry more about purpose. And what tends to happen is when you have a big purpose, you hit your goals. I'm going to give you a little personal story and then I'll get into my content. But I purposely did this video in my office and purposely put that stuff over my shoulder. If you can't read it, that's okay. A lot of those plaques are a lot of the achievements that I've hit in my life. The one on the very top there is my national championship. In fact, I have the ring in here too. Oh. This is my national championship ring. I earned it back in 2004 when I was 19 years old. And my goal was never to be a national champion. I'm going to be real with you. I had zero goal of being a national champion. My original goal was to be a successful college athlete. But really, my purpose from day one was to get to the Olympics. That's what I wanted to do. I got into track and field for one reason and one reason only, and I wanted to get myself to the Olympics. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to experience it. I wanted to know what it was like to be at the pinnacle place where the greatest athletes in the world could compete. And because of that, at the time in my life, I literally thought the only way I could get there, the only way I could pursue that purpose was to be the absolute best athlete I could be. As a result, 6 All-Americans happened and a national championship happened at the college level. I became a Division I athlete. I hit a lot of cool goals that most people never hit, not because I was shooting for those goals, but rather my purpose was huge and the results kind of manifested themselves afterwards. And we do the same thing in this business. Where people get tripped up and where they mess this whole game up with intensity is they set their sights on goals rather than their purpose. And when they hit those, that's where they stop. You have to be more obsessed with your purpose and why you do what you do and who you are, and that will take care of and usurp any of the goals that are out there. When I started this business, completely honest with you, I had 2 goals, okay? I don't really tell us this often. I can say this now because I'm in the position I'm in. But my main goal, honestly, was I wanted to be in a position where I could work 4 or 5 hours a day and go work out the rest of the day. That was one of my goals. My second goal was to get completely debt free. I wanted to be debt free. I didn't want to owe anything to anybody, and that was the deal. I had no desire to be a business owner. I had no idea what a consultant was. I didn't know what Rising Star was. I had no clue what any of this stuff was. I just showed up because Vanessa was a cool person, and I really liked Vanessa, and she said, hey, you work hard, you can have the life that you want. As a result of that purpose, I saw that if I worked really hard, I could get debt free and I could be in a position to work really hard, because my purpose was ultimately, which I didn't know at the time, was to be an entrepreneur. I didn't know how to frame it or define it, but that's really what I wanted. My purpose was I wanted complete control of my life, complete freedom financially and, from a chronological standpoint, time-wise, to live my life and do what I needed to do. And because I was obsessed with this, kind of all the other things happened. I got promoted rather quickly to assistant management. I got promoted to management. I promoted 3 deals. I'm still a promoting owner. I made it to Rising Star. I've completely paid off all my debts, which is crazy. I just came back from England for 10 days. In a couple weeks, I'm going to Brazil. I'm living a cool ass life. I have 2 beautiful daughters. I'm living in Florida. For an Ohio kid, that's pretty cool. For people that are from Florida, they don't think it's that cool. But for a guy that was freezing his ass off every day in cold Ohio, that's a big deal. I've got time to do crazy stuff that most people can't, like write a book or travel the world or take care of my family. I'm doing a lot of cool stuff because my purpose was really, really important to me. Now, to you guys may not give a rat's ass about working 4 days and 4 hours and chilling the rest of the day or being financially free. But I cared so much about that purpose that the goals took care of themselves. What happens on the flip side, if I would have came into this business and said, yeah, I want to be a business owner, I want to kind of do what Sarah or whatever your owners were doing, and you shoot only for that goal and you hit it, you got not a whole lot after that point. See, for me to keep my purpose, I have to continually battle. I have to continually fight. I have to continually get after on a regular basis to maintain that. To be a business owner, you don't have to really maintain too much. You kind of show up and you're there. It's the concept of the wedding versus the marriage. Most people get excited about the wedding. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm excited. This is my day. I'm getting married. They get married, but then they realize there's a marriage after that they have to completely work on. And that's the real work. The wedding's not the work. The marriage is the work. But if you're only obsessed with the wedding, your marriage is going to suffer because you didn't plan for what's afterwards. But if you pursue a purpose, you're more obsessed about the marriage than the actual wedding. The wedding part for me was getting a few of the things that I wanted, but the marriage of this is literally extension of that freedom for prolonged periods of time because I sought out purpose versus my goals. Now here's the deal, and I'll be honest with you. I didn't know that I was doing that as I was going through the management training program. I didn't realize that I was putting myself in purpose versus goals. But now that I can see it as an owner, I'm realizing, oh my gosh, the more that I pursue my purpose, the reason why I exist, the more I'm going to hit more goals. So when you have intensity, when you know your purpose, there is a natural intensity that takes over. When you want to go to the Olympics really, really bad, you tend to do some crazy shit you normally wouldn't do. To get those All-Americans, to get this national championship, I literally got up at 5 o'clock every single morning. And I'm not a morning person. I hate the mornings. I loathe them. I'm on residential for a reason. They can't get me back on business to business for the fact that I just don't want to wake up. I'd rather stay up late than wake up early. I'm not about that life. But because I wanted to go to the Olympics, I knew I had to get up early and train like a son of a bitch to get to that point. I knew that I was going to have to work out every day. I knew that I was going to have my mind positive all the time. I knew that I was going to have to be physically and mentally prepared for every single meet so that I could improve, so I could get to the Olympics. Now, I'm going to be real with you. I didn't end up making it to the Olympics. I didn't make it as an athlete. But the purpose never changed. I still wanted to go to the Olympics. And I figured out a way to do it. Crazy thing is I just used this business, and now I'm going to be heading to the event that I was planning on competing in. Now, God didn't bless me with the genetics needed to be a top-tier world-class discus thrower, and I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that. But my purpose was to go be a part of the Olympics, and I'm about to do that. Life may have sidetracked, the goals may have changed it a little bit because life happens, but the purpose was still there. And if it's big enough and it's exciting enough, you're going to end up there anyways. So I'm going to end up in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, watching the event that I wanted to be a part of anyways, with a life that I want, which I'm pretty excited about. So I'm going to give you some points, guys, to get you where you want to be with your purpose, and hopefully it helps you get where you want to be. Okay? Point number one. Here it is. You ready for it? Number one. Why am I here? Okay? You got to ask yourself that every single day when you come in. Why am I showing up to work every day? Why am I getting here working like more hours? And I use that fictitiously because, listen, if you do like a real job, you work way more hours than you do here with what we're doing, but I'll let you figure that out for yourself. But why do you work here? Why are you here? Why do you show up every single day? You got to know that. A lot of you show up and have no fucking clue why you're here every single day. You show up because you're like, oh, games are fun, or these people are cool, and that's all right. That will work for a little bit of time. But here's the deal. That's called a goal. Yeah, I got to hang out with cool little people. But you got to understand your purpose why you show up. Because when things aren't as fun and games get old and going to the field gets old and hearing the same morning meeting over and over again gets old, the purpose is what's going to keep you in the game. So why are you here? I found it a long time ago. You know, for me, obviously I'm a Christian guy. My purpose in life is to give glory to God in all things that I do. That's my goal. That's my purpose, right? Is to love God, love people, and give him the glory for it, okay? That's my internal guiding part of my life. Beyond that, though, my purpose is to improve people's lives every single day. That gets me going. My former career before this, I was a strength and conditioning coach. My job was to improve the lives of the athletes that came to see me every single day. I've taken that into this business. My job is to improve the lives of anybody that I come in contact with. Whether it's day one guy or whether it's assistant manager about to be an owner, my job is to improve their life. That is my purpose. So if I know that purpose, it doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter how my health is, doesn't matter what I'm thinking, doesn't matter what happens outside, what the weather's doing, what my car does, what my family thinks. My purpose usurps everything else. And if your purpose is strong enough in something that you really give a shit about, you are naturally going to be intense about what you're doing. I am an intense person because I am obsessed with improving people's lives. I'm jacked up about it, to the point where I wrote a book about it. That's how obsessed I am about my purpose. So if I know that about who I am, my intensity naturally raises up. The field doesn't become the field anymore because my job is I want to help out people, improve their lives. I want to save somebody from that crappy Bright House bill or that crappy Sprint bill or that crappy Office Depot toner price. Whatever it is, I want to improve people. I'm excited about training people because I'm trying to improve their life so they can get where I'm at. I want them to not work at Walmart anymore, not work at McDonald's anymore, not work at that bartending job anymore. I want them to have more because I'm trying to improve where they're at because of my purpose. Because of my purpose, I want to interview as many people as possible so I can improve their lives and get them out of the shithole they're in now. Because of my purpose. Because of my purpose, I'm intense about becoming a business owner so I can give more people the opportunity to go where I want to be. I want to be a consultant because of my purpose. My purpose is to improve people's lives. I can't do that without my purpose. So you need to know what your purpose is. And it's not going to be a 2-second think tank conversation to yourself. It's going to take some time, and that's okay. But as a leader, right now, you got to figure out, why the hell are you here? Usually, here's the hint, it's the thing that keeps you up at night. It's the thing that you're passionate about. It's the thing that your emotions just get attached to, that you get obsessed with. That's usually your purpose. So once you understand that, the second question you got to ask yourself is, okay, how do I respond to that purpose? How do I act once I know what my purpose is? In this business, once you know what your purpose is, there has to be a response to it. I can't tell you how many people are like, yeah, I've got all these goals in my life and this is what I want to do in this business. But you know they're full of shit because they say all these goals and they don't do a damn thing about it. I know who the next owner is based on their purpose. If their purpose is, listen, I need to change my whole family. Like one of my favorite high roller speeches. It was given by this girl named Trina in my office, and she says, I want to change my family tree. I want to change the destiny of my family. That is a massively powerful statement. And not only does she say it, she believes it. It's not like she's saying, oh, I want a pirate ship someday. She's saying, I want to change the future of people. And because of that, her actions reflect that in the field when she kicks ass, because she wants to change what's going on there. Most of her family are poor. Most of her family are not doing really well. But she has an opportunity to change that because of her purpose. Her purpose is, I want to change the whole family tree. I want to change the dynamic. Just like I want to go to the Olympics. If I want to go to the Olympics, my response has to change. You will see that I'm getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning when most people aren't, because their purpose is not that. My purpose is that, so I'm going to respond to it accordingly. What are you not doing right now to respond to your purpose? Some of you may be doing that. Keep it up. But a lot of you guys may know what your goals are, but they're not really your purpose. And because they're not your purpose, you're not excited enough to respond and do something about it. The great thing about this business is you have complete control of where you go. And because of that, you got to respond if you know what your purpose is. Number 3, what am I going to do about it? So not only, it's not just how do we respond, but what are you going to do about it? There's a lot of people in this business that I would call, they're really intelligently, they know everything about this business. They know the levels of consultant. They know everything in the training packet. They know how to sell everything product. They know how to do everything, okay? But when push comes to shove, they don't do a damn thing about it. And I'm not calling people out, but I'm just being real with you as a leader. If you've been in the business for a year now, you kind of don't want to be a leader anymore. It's time to start improving your game. Because now I'm worried about you, whether your purpose in this business actually match. You have to do something about your purpose. Once you know what it is, you got to respond and you got to do. See, the part of purpose, and the reason why I like purpose more than goals are just ambiguous ideas and desired results. Purpose is you actually creating something, you getting something done, you showing fruit for your labor. What fruits are you showing right now? Are your fruit good right now? Do you taste good? Are you the person people want to be around? Are you the person that people are saying that's the next guy? Or are you the guy that kind of hangs out in the corner of the leaders meeting? Nobody says a whole lot. Don't get invited to anything from like national conferences or anything like that. That's usually a sign that you're not doing anything about your purpose. And the last thing, guys, is when are you going to get this done? So not only do you know why you're doing what you're doing, you know how to respond, and you're actually actively doing something. You got to understand, when is it going to happen? When, at what time are you going to decide to actually do this? I'm going to give you a hint. The instant you know your purpose, that's when it begins. The instant you know that you need to do something to change your life or to get where you want to be in this business or to change your purpose or your destiny, that's the time to get it done. Now's the time. So if you are looking to get intensity in your goals, it's got to start with, why the hell am I here? Once you know that, you got to respond and do something about it. And once you do something about it, you got to put a timetable to get it done. There's a building that's right here on the way to Orlando, or to my office in Orlando. It's this really big, pretty building in Altamont Springs, and if you've been here before, you've probably seen it. It looks so beautiful from far away. It looks awesome, but then when you get closer and closer to it, you realize the building's not finished. From a long way, it looks really, really great, but when you get up close and personal, the reality is there's nothing there but a foundation and a couple of glass walls. A lot of you guys look like that in the business. From a long distance, from most people, they see you and you have goals and you're like, oh yeah, those sound like really, really good goals. But the closer you get to it, people realize that you got jack shit, no intensity when it comes to it. You look the part, you have the suit on, you say the right things, you say the Sid Corey phrases, but there's nothing fucking behind it. You got to know your purpose. Purpose would help you complete the building. And you're not a complete building yet. The reason why I know that, because you're hearing my voice right now. If you're hearing my voice, you're not a complete project yet. You got a long way to go. In fact, I'm not a complete project yet. There's still things that I need to work on. So I need to really fixate on my purpose of why I'm here, and what I'm doing, and how I'm going to respond, and when I'm going to get it done, or I'm not going to get things done in life. I didn't make it to the Olympics. but I'm going to go watch it. And I'm very excited about it. I didn't intend on winning national championships, but I did because my purpose was so fucking big. I didn't intend on running a business, but now I'm doing it because I realize that my purpose of wanting to have the goal of freedom that I have and financial freedom usurped any job that I'm going to call somebody a boss. Guys, today, if you want to get intense about your goals, figure out what the fuck your purpose is. When you figure that out, the whole game changes. When you're excited about what you are and who you are and what you're doing in life, the goals will just fall. They'll fall in line. Let's get intense about who you are. Let's get intense about how you respond to things. Let's get intense about what you're going to do about your purpose. And let's get intense about when it's going to happen. Guys, hopefully you learned something today. Hit me up if you have any questions. Hopefully you guys have a great day. But let's go find a fucking purpose. Find your purpose, and then you'll get the intensity in your goals. Have a great day.